McNair gives it to George, running right up the middle. Touchdown! Titans! There are no flags on the field! It's a miracle!
Safety, now you're one-on-one with it.
Shows why he's the man! In trouble. Sack!
Ladies and gentlemen, Titan Nation, welcome back. Today we're going to be discussing our fourth round pick from the Texas Longhorns, tight end Gunnar Helm, and who else? I had to bring a Texas Longhorn fan, and we have, I mean, look, his hats show. We have Mike in the house. If you haven't heard of Mike, then you are not a Titans fan. Covers the Titans extensively. It's perfect, awesome with um, his stuff that he does with the Titans. So, what's up, Mike? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Pretty good. And the hat fits. Let's talk about our new tight end, Gunner. What did you think about it? Did you like the pick? Talk to me about it, man.
Yeah, I love the pick for where they got him. And look, I know I am a Texas fan. I'll put that out there. Graduated from there, all that. So I am slightly biased, but I do try to pull my bias out of the draft evaluation. So like Quinn Ewers, Cam Williams, I wasn't like huge on those guys the whole draft process. There are some Texas guys I like. There are some Texas guys I don't like from a projection standpoint. I like them all from a fan standpoint, but from a projection standpoint, I try to take the bias out of it. But Helm is a good player, in my opinion, and he's kind of an interesting guy. He was a slow burn player at Texas because he got basically stuck behind Jatavian Sanders, who was a five-star recruit, played ahead of him. Helm played in their two tight end sets in 2023, and then when Sanders got drafted last year, Helm moved up into that kind of featured tight end role in their offense, and outproduced Sanders in their final years there. He was fantastic last year, so big time production, good size, and yeah, he's a good football player.
There we go. What do you see some of his weaknesses? I know we talked a little bit about the strength and stuff. What about some of his weaknesses?
He's not the most
Oh,
athletic guy. Like he's not a explosive speed wise. He's not going to run away from the defense or anything like that. He's definitely limited athletically. I think that's really the biggest holdup with him. And then he's not a huge tight end either from a weight standpoint. Like he's 6'5" in the 245, 250 range, which is decent size, but he's not in that like 260, 270 kind of, mauler type mold. Definitely a more of a get in the way kind of blocker than a mauler, although he does, provide a lot of effort in the run game and will block hard. He just, he doesn't have the physical strength to move a lot of people.
gotcha. What would be like someone you can compare to in the NFL that kind of has his frame or maybe his style of football?
I think he's very much, I've seen this comp elsewhere. I can't remember where, but I immediately was like, yeah, that's it. Jake Ferguson for the Cowboys. He's in that mold, like a Dalton Schultz kind of guy. I mean, and honestly, a little bit of Austin Hooper to his game, that the Titans fans will be a little bit more familiar with. I think he's a better player than Hooper, but I think he's got some of the similar skill sets. He catches everything. Literally everything. I think he might have had two drops in his entire college career. And in a lot of those throws that went to him were contested catches. I mean, he's great with the jump ball. You can throw it up to him, just let him come down with it. He had a great catch in the Georgia game. I think that was the SEC championship Georgia matchup where Ewers just kind of flung it up to him in the down the sidelines, and Helm just goes up and grabs it. So yeah, I think he's great from that standpoint, and then he's also quarterback friendly. And what I mean by that is he's great at separating late. So if he's got if the play breaks down, and I think this will be big with Cam Ward specifically,
Mhm.
as he moves around in the pocket, the play starts to get late. It's really in an improvised kind of time. He's really good at finding space and just making himself a target for the quarterback. So I think that's something that he'll bring to the table. And yeah, he's a smart player, instinctive, pretty good at getting open for a guy that's not, like I said, a burner. And yeah, I think fans are gonna like him.
What do you think this was your favorite pick out of the whole draft, or who was your favorite pick? Maybe let's get your favorite pick and then your sleeper pick.
Okay, so outside of Cam, which I am a Cam fan, I'll say my favorite pick was Elik Eomanor, and the wide receiver from Stanford. I just couldn't believe that they got him where they did. He's got size, he's got speed, ball skills, everything like a lot of the stuff that checks boxes for me when I'm personally trying to find like a wide receiver that I like. He checks a lot of those boxes, and I think he's the guy that to me was the best value pick, I guess, in the draft that I'm really excited about.
Definitely, man. Well, I appreciate it. I can't wait to see this guy on the field. I can't wait to see, spring training. I talked to Ben Troop about just the wide receiver core and how it's been a while since we've actually had a decent run for our money with wide receivers. It's going to be a very packed group. Uh, so it should be exciting, but I'm excited to see him. I knew, like I said, once it said Texas Longhorn, I'm like, oh, Mike's probably losing right now.
Oh, I was excited. And look, I mean, Helm's a guy that'll be easy to root for. He plays with a little bit of swagger, which I
Okay.
like, and yeah, he's going to give you all the effort, everything you want. And yeah, I think he's going to be a very good player for this team.
Oh man. Well, you know what, Mike? Thank you. I appreciate you coming on, talking a little bit about our fourth round pick, tight end. Appreciate it. Always love having you on. Love hearing you, and keep up the good work. And appreciate you, bro.
Absolutely. Thanks, man. Thanks for having me. And yeah, hook 'em horns and tighten up.
There you go.